Hello guys, welcome back to Geological as always, and today we're back on Monster Hunter Wilds. Only difference is this one here is going to be post-commentary due to the fact that this was recorded ages ago, so it was. This is back whenever Mitsutsune and Zoshia was released, and I'm just going to talk over the footage that I did obtain. It is substantially reduced, but I may as well make use of the footage that I have because I did fight them on release, if that makes sense. You are going to see more of it later on.
Worried. Is that the monster that's disturbing your fishing?
No.
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 Mizutsune! To ensure the area's safety, the guild authorizes you to hunt the Mizutsune! On it!
So yeah, the Mitsutsune fight. I have to say now, the standard variant of the Mitsutsune, the non-tempered version, is remarkably... Do you want to know something actually? Baseline, I do believe the Mitsutsune fight is actually a difficult fight, generally, but it is a doable fight. Now, another thing that I do have to bring up, quite frankly, is the fact that her tempered version, or its tempered version, is a much bigger deal. So it is. I have had to farm for this. I have had to farm this creature quite a few times. So I have. But no, it's on a baseline. She is difficult, in my opinion. So she is. But as an overall, she is doable. So she is. I say maybe a little bit better if I probably wasn't using a bow and running away a lot more. But I cancelled. That was right. I was trying to cancel the SOS so I could try and solo the boss. But by that stage, somebody had already sort of got in. So I was kind of like, shit. You know what I mean? So we just had to make do with what it was. As it says, I've hunted a lot more Mitsutsunes in the as of now, because I was kind of aiming to farm her gear. Now, luckily enough, while doing this here, I didn't actually cart, so it was majorly a clean fight. So it wasn't a tragic fight. It was a majorly clean fight. So it was definitely a far more difficult boss or monster than I had initially anticipated, due to the fact that I hadn't played Rise or Sunbreak. So I didn't actually know what I was going into whenever Mitsutsune came. So I didn't play Monster Hunter Rise. If you do want to see me play Monster Hunter Rise though, I will double back, because as I says, I'm currently doubling back to go play Neo, so I am. So if you do want me to play Rise, I'll have a go at Rise and see what the situation is, because I have little to no idea what goes on in that game. I know very, very little. All I know is it's a Switch port, I believe, whenever it comes to Rise, but again, that's a story for another day. So it is. But no, Mitsutsune is a very wild and erratic monster, so she is, or it is. Very wild and erratic. I have now learned that the hard way, because before as of this video here, this is the first initial hunt. I'm speaking now with experience, that literally just upping her durability and upping her damage the smallest amount makes her a complete deviant to deal with, and you will find more out of you will see this later on. She is, well, it is a deviant. The monster is absurdly powerful, so it is, and yeah, it's a nasty piece of work, so it is. In saying that though, the big bonus point is her gear, or its gear. Oh God, it looks like a she. Its gear is what I'm really looking forward to. As says, with artisan weapons being a thing, the weapons aren't exactly of the highest caliber, if that makes sense. With artisan weapons basically outscaling all base weapons in the game. But again though, I will still get around to building the bow properly and actually being able to actually use said bow. I think actually I have. Did I build said bow? I don't think I did build said bow, did I? I don't remember it being built. But yes, with, unfortunately though, the passive on it, I think it's Slicked Blade or something. It is whenever you're wet or you get the bubble effect on you, which is a little bit rough, so it is. Now, in my opinion, the major creme de la creme whenever it comes to the Mitsutsune, for me, personally, is the armor. Because, fun fact, the gear that I'm using is so-so. So it is. Personally, I believe it is so-so, because I have it built for a specific thing. But I have to say now though, is that the Mitsutsune gear does come with a lot of usable gear in this scenario, so it does. It comes with an awful lot of usable stuff, making it exceptionally good for the type of build that I'm running. So it is, I think it's a combination of Stamina Surge and Constitution. So it is the parts that I had built, which just, it's Stamina Surge and Constitution on a bow is exactly what you're going to need. On the other hand though, fashion of it, absolutely spot on. But yes, it comes with it, as says, this will be covered in a later video in more depth, because there's more to come whenever it comes to Mitsutsune, because yes, I need to do a bit of farming to get all of the gear, and I'm telling you now, foreshadowing, it's not easy. And then, of course, the next monster was Zoshia. Basically, it's our grand rematch. They released the high rank version of Zoshia for high rank, obviously, because time for a rematch. Unfortunately, base game Zoshia didn't actually come with any armor or weapons, so it didn't. But it is nice to return to probably one of the most epic fights in the entire game, and it does give you a little bit, now just looking back at it, it does give you a little bit of sort of like what's to come in high rank, because it uses the same skeleton as Gore Magala. Of course, my brain didn't process this, so it didn't whenever I first fought it. That it is very, it has the same monster skeleton as Gore Magala, which I probably should have fought this boss a few more times. Actually, you can't even fight this boss a few more times. You fight it once and then you're done with it, which is a bit disappointing. But again, regardless, great fight. So it is, again, learning all the tips and tricks with it. As says, simply just down to the fact that we had already previously fought the boss. I just ended up sticking with the co-op. I'd already defeated the boss. The high rank version is not going to be any different in that scenario. I don't think it really does anything out of the ordinary or different. It's just the same boss, only with basically better stats. In saying that, that last statement might actually just be a little bit wrong, so it might be, because I do believe it. No, I'm not 100% sure if it is. I know in the high rank version, it does actually 100% come out of its shell. I can't remember off the top of my head if it does that in low rank. As says, I'm expecting there to be an arc tempered version of this at some stage, which would be absolutely phenomenal. So it would be, because again, arc tempered monsters are the next big challenge until they start releasing really nutty stuff, and then we're up for shenanigans. But again, though, great fight. As says, only fought it the once, because unfortunately for me, the armor is not really that much of a big ask, so it isn't. So again, it was mostly just defeating it for the sake of defeating it in this scenario. So it was because, again, it was released and I wanted to deal with it. And on top of that, there we did manage to defeat it without anybody carting, which is a fantastic result. So yeah, with that hunt being quick and easy, we went and took a look at the weapons. Now, the weapon does have a lot of intrigue to it, because that White Flame Torrent is actually surprisingly powerful, and I would really like to actually get it built and get a little bit of use out of it. But unfortunately, with its dragon element being so low, I really doubt it's going to actually be able to match up against other bows. But then with later on being the case, with basically down the line, that could very easily change. As it says, incredibly powerful passive effect, it's just on a relatively mediocre bow in comparison to any other dragon bow, and on top of that there, any other artisan bow. So you're kind of always stuck in that sort of rhythmic motion where everything basically gets outmatched by an artisan bow for the meantime. That probably will change later on, because I think the new bows might just be slightly stronger than the artisan equivalents to them. I'm not 100% sure, but again, another thing for me is obviously going to be the armor. We need specific set of skills to actually make use of our bow, and unfortunately, Zoshia's gear, for as absolutely epic as it looks, I'm not going to lie, for as absolutely epic as the Zoshia gear looks, unfortunately, it's just not. It doesn't have any of the stats that I require on my kind of build. So, a little bit of a disappointment, but that can change again with a Gamma set. Just putting it out there. And then the final thing that I really have to bring up is, well, we found the Grand Hub, so we did. That's really all it is. We found the Grand Hub, so we did. As I said, this video is mostly just me, again, catching up on content that I haven't uploaded, because you're about to see a lot more of it. So you are. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share and subscribe if you didn't enjoy. And remember guys, not everything goes to plan. Evidently.